Okay, happy November everyone. I've got an early Christmas present for you. The new and improved Murkmire Ready 1 bar vMA build. So, what does it involve? Well, first of all, we're going to decide to sacrifice quite a bit of uh, our raw glass cannon power in favor of a build that is pretty indomitable, stays together. You're going to have a very hard time being killed with this. So, we are wearing... My stats have changed. Isn't that funny when your stats change? I've just lost 4,000 magicka. Because I ate the wrong food is why. There we go. All sorted. Okay, you don't want to be using Froth God, that's what I was using when I was tanking. You want to be using buy food. Okay, so here's the gist of the build. All your points in magicka you're going to get with this 49,000 plus, closing in on 50,000 magicka. You're going to have 30,000 health and 2,000 spell damage. About 20% resistance, both spell and physical, depending on how you want to set up your CPs. You'll want the Mage Mundus and buy stat food. And you want, of course, the Volatile Familiar and Twilight Matriarch are in there. So, in order to get these stats, we want 2 pieces of Valkin Scoria. Let's have a medium helmet and light shoulders, or vice versa. And let's have a heavy Plague Doctor chest, 4 pieces of Necropotence. Let's have the big pieces be infused, and the small pieces divines, all enchanted with max magicka glyphs. And you want the Mage Mundus, that's why we're going with big pieces infused, because it maximizes our magicka output. So we want 2 Plague Doctor jewelry and a Plague Doctor's lightning staff. We want that to be infused with a shot glyph. 1 ring of necropotence. All jewelry enchanted with spell damage. You can do this any way you like, really, but I've gone for 1 healthy and 2 arcane. It just crosses the threshold of 30,000 health, which I like. So when I cast my Hardened Ward, we get 15,000 there, plus that's augmented by 20% resistance, so it's actually 20% stronger. So it's more like in the region of 18,000 ward, 30,000 health. You're going to be one tough cookie. So the skills we're going for with this build: Blockade of Storms, Volatile Familiar, Twilight Matriarch, Hardened Ward, Bound Aegis, and Thunderous Rage. I've gone for Bound Aegis over Inner Light this time, and I've decided that I'm going to use spell power potions, because we've lost a bit of the damage that we were getting before with spinners, which we've replaced with Plague Doctor. So I want to make the most of my offenses, and it's the least we can do to use spell power pots. But if you don't want to, you can still clear vMA, replacing Bound Aegis with Inner Light and using trash pots. I'll show you my CP really quick. They're not min-maxed for vMA, but they're a good rough guide. It's what I'm going to use for this run. We've got 31 Elfborn, 40 Spell Erosion, 49 Elemental Expert, which gives us 120 in the Apprentice, which unlocks the Arcane Well passive. We want 75 in the Atronach. I've got 40 Man-at-Arms and 35 Staff Expert, which unlocks the Butcher passive. Remember that Master-at-Arms is going to improve the damage of your light attacks, of your Twilight Matriarch, and your Shock Glyph on the staff. And we want 75 Thaumaturge because most of our damage is damage over time, and because it unlocks the Exploiter passive, increasing our damage done to off-balance enemies, which the Shock Glyph and the Blockade of Storms will achieve. I've just gone for a balanced approach in the red tree, so 66 Ironclad, you get a lot of direct damage, put 11 in Spell Shield, 56 in Hardy and Elemental Defender, 56 in Thick Skin, 10 in Light Armor Focus, 15 in Quick Recovery. It's just a rough and ready guide, something nice and balanced. So over to the green tree, I put 56 in Warlord. We don't want to get stuck in a CC. 2 in Sprinter, those were just left over. 76 in Tenacity, we want to gain lots of Magicka back from our heavy attacks. Only 49 in Arcanist because we've got very low Magicka recovery anyway, so what's another 2% of 700? That's like 14. Tumbling, 56, we'll do a few dodge rolls, get out of red stuff. 31 in Shadow Wards so that we can block. And without further ado, I'll just check my gear. Looks good to me. Nothing on the back bar, just Plague Doctor Lightning Staff.
Has what it takes? Contain your hopes.
I suppose this one has what it takes. I'm about to be carried by my build.
Very well then.
You're not going to get a top score with this setup. You're probably not going to get on the leaderboards, but you will get your first clear of VMA in Murkmire.
Dance around the tree of death.
So I'll show you a bit about what sigils I'm using as I go across, because sigils are very important. They help us to get a more comfortable clear. Over here is our dude, got a Destro Staff ability on him, down he goes. Always come back to this red bush in round 1. I've said all this stuff in my previous video, but just in case this is your first time with me in VMA, this is my point of orientation, this red bush. So there we go, a nice big blunder, got my ward off, not paying a lot of attention, but still. We hardly lose any health. We've got like 28,000 health left after a big mistake. Just always get this rhythm into you. Boom. Wow, that's it. That's what you want to be doing the whole arena. Just the 2 skills. Keep those heavy attacks going until the staff pops back. You gain a lot of damage from that pop. Dodge that guy's attack when he rears back, because it stuns you. And then slows you afterwards, not pleasant. Okay, the main boss will spawn over here. If you want to finish him nice and quickly, just take the Sigil of Defense. You can't do much of anything to you now.
Now we kill the mortal.
Watch those little projectiles fly back at him. And just do 3 heavy attacks after you put down your skills.
Another thrilling match. I'm sorry it's over.
hope I get a sword or a shield of the hunt at the end of this. That would be very nice. But I will probably just get rubbish. Ah yeah, that's why I have that. Alright, off we go to round 2. I have to remind myself to eat a food at some point during this, because it will probably run out. Remember to hit the switches here. They glow, just grab them, and it stops the blades, gives you a bit of thinking room. Just have you attack these guys from a distance. Don't go in that central bit, or you get knocked back and hit pretty hard. Let things come to you, by and large. Just get yourself a good add-on where you can monitor your board. And just make sure it's always up, or up most of the time. It's not going to be a big deal if it goes down because you've got 30,000 health, but if you do have trouble keeping your board up, an add-on can help with that. I'm using FTC, Foundry Tactical Combat. It was popular back in the day as a kind of substitute for combat metrics, but I only use it for the unit frame, because I think it's really handy to have your health, magicka and stamina all together and your ward clearly there. You want to watch those projectiles that come flying across from the spears. They hit pretty hard with those. And as you see, you don't even have to move for this. You just hang around this first switch, hit it when it comes up, and just when the boss comes up, we've got to go around to him. So don't use your ultimate yet, we're going to save it for when they all gather together. He's going to do Deltia's poopy squat, and then we go around to the next one. You travel clockwise. This one isn't going to... He's going to go right back into the squat. Don't go after him. Hang around the third one. And when this guy comes in, drop your Destro. Have maximum effect like this. Remember to hit the switch when it's up if you get a moment. Okay, so that's round 2. Notice that defensive playstyle. Keep the ward up, keep the dots down. Everything else will come naturally. Just stay in pretty much in one place as far as you can. Keep your eyes on what's going on around you. Now, Arena 3, it can be tricky in places. There are two things you need to watch out for. It's the knockbacks from the vMA. It's actually their little projections that do the knockback. And also make sure that you kill the stranglers as quickly as possible. Or they'll have a tendency to slow you down. So they spawn just on the edges of the arena. So keep your eye out for those. We're going to have this dude coming in from over this side. He'll just walk straight up to you, you don't have to go anywhere. See, that's what the stranglers look like. They go into their squat between rounds, so look out for them, they'll glow yellow. If you want to maximize your damage at the beginning of rounds, you can chase after your scamp. It's easier than calling him. See that knockback? Those can be quite annoying. What? I think with our ordinary build I would have just been nuked. That did nothing to me. Do watch the uppercut from that PetSorc ad, the mini boss. Ooh. Would have just died yet again, but I'm kind of half asleep at the moment. It's quite late here. All the better for proving proof of concept on this build. Watch this woman here, this hag lady. She's a pain in the ass. She may try to pull us in, so keep that ward up so she doesn't do anything too annoying. But look at that shit, those knockbacks. Alright, always start the last round on this pillar here. But I tell you what, we can actually grab the Sigil of Power, kill that bugger there, drop your Destro, and circle her, doing heavy attacks. Make sure we don't get Strangler build up. Keep your ward up, keep your health up as well. And keep circling her. It's important that we don't wind up in front of her, because she does a stun with that conal ability.
You've done well.
Take your time between rounds if it's your first run particularly. Prepare your gear. Check your charges as well. That can make a big difference, particularly with a low DPS build like this. Very important that we have full charges, because they hit like a truck. We're going to take a left from the portal here and start right on this point. That guy will try to do a uppercut on you, so be careful you don't get uppercut. Sticks. Chasing out. Try to keep these guys in the middle under control. They get a damage shield on them. Just get them anyway, because they put out a big bit of damage. You can nuke with Destro the first couple of mini bosses in this arena. We've got time until the last boss.
So far so good, but the worst is yet to come.
Now these can still give you a fairly substantial whack. Watch those shock walls, don't get in them, so keep your distance from the dwarven spears. If you get those central spears quickly enough, they don't get a damage shield up on them. And they go down very fast indeed. There's a spear over in the distance, so watch his shock wall ability. Scamp stunned him, so he didn't do it. Here's our mini boss, Destroy. As long as we keep the ward up and block big red shit circles, then you're pretty much invincible with this. There's a spear doing a shock wall. Whoa, see that whack we took from behind? Didn't even remember they were there, but didn't do a lot to us. Took us to half health. Don't put your Destro on this last mini boss. We need to save it for the main boss of the round. Kill his ads first and watch his uppercut. Get it off. And as we go into the boss round, make sure all the spears are dead. There are no spears. So, same technique as we used in the previous build for this. I'm going to follow under him. When we get to the end of the blockade, recast it. Now watching for the Sigil of Power to the side here. Take it and Destro it and reapply our dots. Just walk around the other side and watch as he dies. By the time you get back to him, he should be just about dead. If he's not, give him one more rotation and he will be. Going into the 5th round, the defensive sigil is going to be your best friend. There's a lot of frost mages and archers which do some nasty direct damage to you. That's the platform over there with the defensive sigil on it. So if things get a bit rough, we can play primarily over there. I'm just going to make my way around in a pretty haphazard manner. Because the trolls are a bit of a pain. see that direct damage attack they do there. That will
Hunted one, now you die.
that will be reflected by the sigil of defense. So the trolls always spawn from the middle. Just chase after them. No matter what else is going on, chase after the trolls. Let's grab the sigil of defense just because. Kill these, and like I said, go straight to the trolls. Bash him. Take him out. The worst thing that can happen is when we get these the trolls bash one of your platforms and have less space to move. Careful that your pets don't die, they will die. Keep an eye on the middle, always the middle for trolls, that's where they spawn. And your primary targets are going to be these cross mages. They hit harder than anything else in this round. Take out one of these trolls. We do get rather hard. This would be a good time for the defensive sigil. I just haven't taken it because I didn't think to take it. It can be quite hard on your stamina in this round as well, so keep an eye on your stamina. Make sure it doesn't fall too low. Over here is a frost mage, take him out first. Those hit very hard, those streams along the ground. Not sure they do 30,000 damage, but they will cause a bit of pain. Now we have a very precise method for doing the round 5 boss, which I'll show you. We start on this platform, the one we started the arena on. And now we run across to this side as he jumps and destroys that platform. Now we grab the sigil of healing. When he gets to that, he gets a red flash around him. That means that he's about to destroy the pillar. Now at the third one, we take the sigil of defense, drop our destruction staff ultimate, and finish him off nice and neatly. And your pets will always be dead at the end of round 5, so resummon. It's just a bug. So, on to round 6. We've got the obelisks and the web spinners. We need to unweb the obelisks by killing the herbivores over them. If we can't kill them over the obelisks, then we want to stand over them. So watch this. I'll give you an example and throw them at the obelisk, like so. Just follow the portals, kill these guys. They don't pose much of a threat, but they will do that stomp on you. Throw the grenade. The ads seem very keen on my pets today. Sometimes I don't go for them at all. A swarm attack, seek a resonating obelisk. That means go to the glowing one. And dodge roll his heavy attack. You see it coming from above his head. It stuns you and slows you. It's very unpleasant. So you want to avoid that. And throw. Not quite in time. Now, if you're more experienced at vMA, if you're confident in what you're doing here, what you may want to do is, like I'm going to, is to leave one obelisk unwebbed, one obelisk webbed rather, for the whole period of the arena. And that's Code's combat alerts. You can get to tell you when a web spinner is coming if you're on PC. So watch this guy carefully. That doesn't do anything to you, but that doesn't do anything to you. Ah, he didn't do his attack. I was going to show you what to dodge. Maybe there'll be another one, I can't remember. Web spinner nearby, there he is. A couple of light attacks with a blockade woven in that's to do the job. He'll do it, surely. Down he goes. No, that's it. Dodge that. And he rears back. Web spinner nearby. Try to weave in light attacks between all your skills. I know it's a heavy attack build. They do a lot of damage. Web spinner. Where is he? There he is. So Code's combat alert's very helpful. I would say to destro this guy, but don't, because he'll negate it straight away. Like that. Careful of his negate, just get well out of it once he does it. And then watch for uppercuts, which are hard to spot because he's in lightning form. There's the web spinner. Will I get him in time? Just about. So another one of these guys dodges attack. Web spinner. Okay, on to the final part of round 6. We've still got one obelisk webbed, which is what we're aiming for. We get some lurchers. Let's find a web spinner. These will still kill you if you don't go to the obelisk. This guy's quite nasty as well. Watch his uppercut. And his what I call swirly hands attack. Dodge that when his hands go up or it puts a very nasty dot on him. throughout this, keep an eye on your obelisks. Make sure they're all going down as you intend them to. And make sure we get our web spinner. There he is. Hey. That's that, so it's the last boss coming up. At this point, we're going to hit the Sigil of Power. Drop a Destro. And we're going to watch for this guy here. Web spinner. Make sure we get him down. And now throw. Let's make sure we hit. And perfect. That stuns him. Since we got pretty low damage, let's go ahead and kill this Spider Daedra. And there's going to be a Lurcher out of there. Make sure we keep at least an unwebbed obelisk, so let's throw. Because we will get spiders. We've got to get the stun in on her at least once.
Watching you perform.
So there's two ways of doing that. You can either go into the final boss with by policing the obelisk, go in with only one obelisk webbed and then unweb that pretty much as the boss spawns. Or alternatively, you can pretty much ignore the boss, just put your dots on her, don't worry about heavy attacking too much, and just really focus on killing the ads and getting those obelisks unwebbed. When I first did it, that's how I did it, because if you're dead when you go into the boss, I think all but 2 will be webbed when you start. So that's how you have to play it if you go into that round after a death. So, on to round 7, home of the poison flowers. We all love poison flowers here. Don't we love poison flowers? Yes, we love poison flowers. Check our charge on our weapon, it's empty. I was pretty sure it was because it was a glitch. Now, often I get a UI glitch as my weapon is running out of charge. So charge down the archers. The closer we are to them, the easier it is to interrupt them if they do taking aim, and the easier it is to avoid their poison arrow spray. If there's one on one side, the next wave is going to be one on the other side. And now a troll. We can Destro. Don't harm him. Okay, round 2, we'll start getting venom collars now. When your screen glows a little green like that, the poison flowers just blow up randomly and new ones spawn right around them. The Sigil of Defense whenever you feel like it. It's always nice and helpful. Sigil of Defense is vMA or his best friend. Kill those venom collars as a matter of first priority, because that's when you get RNG deaths, when you get 3 or 4 poison flowers just spawn under your feet and wreck you. Alright, just a wave of simple ads here. I think we get a second wave, similar ones. Yep. Ooh, and Venom Core pops up. Let's kill her. Let's grab the Sigil of Defense to make our life easier. Because 2 archers spawn right after that second wave of little ads. Go ahead and stick your Destro ultimate on that bugger. Let him stand in it. Keep your distance from him. If he does manage to do a leap attack, you'll send shocks from across on the ground, and if one of those hits you, I'm pretty sure it'll still one-shot you even with 30k health and 15k ward. Okay, watch for your archers and charge them down. Venom Collars up. There was an archer on the other side last time. He's going to be on this side this time.
Now we'll see something memorable.
I've got 3 archers. From people new to vMA, it's probably a good idea to take the Sigil of Defense at this point. So I'll do just that. Neutralizes the threat nicely. We don't even have to look at them. Once that's taken, they reflect everything they do back to themselves. So it seems like they killed my Twilight. Don't take kindly to random mobs killing my Twilight. And then after those 3 archers, we get the trolls. 2 of them. The Venom Callers are just on a timer or something. I'm not sure how they work, to be honest. A boss spawns in the north. Destro on his head. Whoa! Poison flower under my feet. So we go to the pool and cleanse. Kill this guy and be aware the other one's coming from behind. Keep attacking him from under the dome. Now this guy's going to come out and teleport. Went to my pet there, but sometimes it comes to you. The Venom Collar over yonder. Get him down. We don't want another poison flower at this point. Let's make use of that Sigil of Defense, power rather. And let's just take him out now. Let's not bother with another under the hood thing. Down he goes.
That was one for the record books. I must say,
I recall when I did my last VMA 1-bar run, I had my 1 death of the arena right there at round 7 when I got hit by 3 poison flowers at once, so anything can happen in there. So round 8, it's pretty straightforward. Focus on the kin goals. If you get into trouble, defensive sigil is your friend. You've got a lot of projectile damage. Also a fair few uppercuts. The guys with 2-handed swords do uppercuts. So be cautious of them. If they are healing themselves or doing that, you need to bash them. They're healing each other. We just don't have the damage to let them heal themselves. Block those uppercuts, they hurt. No. Kill the stone. Best to keep our distance from these guys. Just put your Destro on and do a little dance around him. A couple of dodge rolls. Because he hits you and it staggers you and it slows you and it's just not fun.
So far, so good. But the worst
Okay, round
is
2.
yet to
Bunch
come.
of little guys over there. They're no consequence. We want to get the kin gold. Those little guys will come. So I've got these healers, you've really got to focus them one at a time. And make sure they go down. Kill whatever you can in the meantime. Get the stone down, then we can focus on these ads. Kill everything first and just leave the Walloper dude by himself. So he's just a pain in the ass. Until we have to just back away from him.
That challenger approaches. Release the defenders.
Round 3. Should have blocked the heavy attacks, they do hurt. Get plenty of heavy attacks in yourself. Now, round 3, after we've killed that, we need to focus the kin gold. If he does his channel attack like that, and we don't bash it, it's about the one thing that can actually cause us a significant chance of dying in this round. You might want to pull your pets back at the end of each round. Round 4, okay. Hit the Sigil of Defense as soon as these things spawn. Because there are 4 of them, all spawning at exactly the same time, and they have a tendency to do a lot of damage really quickly if allowed to do their thing. And we have some melee guys, block them. And now we've got the Dragonite woman. She's going to try to chain you in. And she's nice and invisible, that helps, doesn't it? The whole arena being fucking invisible. Okay, so let's just... Shouldn't normally happen. Just dance around to stay out of her standard of might. That will hurt very much. That'll kill you. Now we've got the boss. We put the dots down on each, give it one heavy attack. Carry on. Next one. Direct your pets to the correct stone. Take the Sigil of Power. Drop Destro. Kill the kin gold. You may have to kill the kin gold and take defense if you want, but don't quite get it. And we just have to go around again. We need our Twilight up. Now we've got a kin gold. So So that's no good. She's up again. Let's go faster. So yeah, watch your pets. Looks like the pets do have a tendency to die here. Didn't used to die this much. There's another Kingle. And he's gone. It's Destro finishing off. That was a bit messy, but what are we going to do? The idea is you kill two, then you kill the Kingold, then you take the Sigil of Power, and then you kill the third one with the boss over it. Drop your Destro right as he goes into his head clutching maneuver, and you've got a chance of killing him in one go. Possibly not with our Plague Doctor setup, but might have to go around 2 times. You shouldn't have to go around 3 times. That was just me messing up. So check charges going into the last round. It's quite long, so let's make it fully charged. And in we go to the Theatre of Despair. But have no despair, for we are wearing Plague Doctor, Necropotence, and Valken Scoria. So, dodge the ghost, kill the ads, run circles around the crematorial guards, and Bob's your uncle. Watch these archers. They're going to try to do taking aim on you. We're not going to let them do that. They think they're so clever doing taking aim. So here's our first. Oh no, not crematorial guard yet. It's after this one. And when you hear that pop, then you spin round him. Just don't heavy attack, just spin round him. You won't get any fire damage on you at all. But you hear a very distinct pop. And that's signals for you to spin. There's a taking aim, in case you haven't seen one. Make sure to get those bastards. Get those gold ghosts. Hit the spectral explosion. You've got 20 seconds from the time of that popping up on your screen to actually use it, so you don't have to just hit it the second it comes up. It's quite important that we don't get into melee with the Ogre. There's no need to, and he does a very hard hitting knockdown if you do get into melee with him. So the first 2 rounds are basically just ads and ads. Round 3 is fairly similar, except that you'll have a couple of special ads we haven't seen before, or just one special ad to be honest. He tries to take aim, we'll deny. So this guy is quite nasty. Don't stand in that. It's a volcanic rune. We get a big knockdown if we stand in that. The Ogrims they're no big deal if you just keep your distance from them. Get that spectral explosion. focus the crematorial guard. Round they go. Okay, round 4 is the walker round. Focus goes to the guys on the outside of the arena. We need to get them first. They're our first priority. Because they will summon a Bone Colossus that will kill you, even with Plague Doctor.
You shall know pain. Circle around.
Let's spread a Destro right there. After the crematorial guard, we're going to have 2 of them pop up, you see? And an Ogrim. So we kill one. Then the other one. And the Ogrim last. The Ogrim can't do anything to us. As long as we keep moving. Keep heavy attacking. Now, we haven't got quite enough ultimate to try to... Ah, we're not in the final round, we're in... And now we've got this guy, the big Ash Titan. So hit the Sigil of Defense, drop Destro on him, and heavy attack him. When he spits, you don't need to defend yourself against his spit, but against his hands, you need to defend yourself against that. Because that will hit you. There's a taking aim. Just bash him. Another taking aim. Bash him. We got Ghost. Got a lot of bashes going on, so make sure to conserve your stamina. You'll have stuns as well. And finally, an Ogre. Build your ultimate up on this guy. That's what happens if you get into melee with them. Okay. We want him to go up straight away. So, ward up Destro and heavy attack him. Dodge his skull throw. Now, if he does go and you don't manage to get him to go up, you get a Daedroth. Sprint round. So kill the Daedroth, kill whatever else is there. You're very tough, you can do this. Kill the Clan Fear over the portal. Ah, it didn't work. He went over here. Okay, so we can go up now. If your Magicka is a reasonable level, you can go up straight away. If it's not, then and you can wait. Take the Sigil of Haste. And up we go. If you can't take too long, because eventually you get a another Daedroth spawner. So let's go around and make sure we don't get knocked down. I like to dodge those. Some people like to block them, so we can block them just as easily. Oop, and he's gone for that side, so run. minutes, it's about 50k. Let's just jump down. Take the Sigil of Defense. Put a Destro on him. Get the ghosts. You don't need to bash him, but you still need to get the skulls. Kill the guys in the middle. They haven't got the damage, just to ignore it. As soon as they start not reflecting, like now, you can take the Sigil of Power. Hit the Spectral Explosion. And down he goes. 518,000. I think that was better than my last time with the 1-bar build. Definitely better in that I got no death. Pretty comfortable no death. 54 minutes, yeah, that was better than last time. So there you go. I hope you enjoy getting your Flawless Conqueror in the Murkmire patch. Nerfs and all, there's always a way around it. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great time in vMA. I hope this video helps. Ask your questions in the comments section. See you next time.